Right. A very warm welcome to the first of Money Intelligence 201 masterclass series. Apology for the notice going out quite late, but I hope subsequent ones you're going to get notice well in advance for the one for tomorrow and then the one to come on Friday. Right. So today I'm going to be discussing unpacking the CBEX saga. CBEX was a company that came out of nowhere, tempted naive Nigerian investors with huge returns, and unluckily for many, they fell for it. They went for it. They got trapped. And as at the time the company folded last month, it was reported that over 1 trillion naira of depositors' money was taken away. It was a Ponzi scheme which many people were not aware of. All right, so what are the warning signs? What did investors miss? In this masterclass, I'm going to be showing you what to look out for before you put your money, before you rush out and become a victim of any investment offers. A couple of things which investors missed that cost them their money. Number one is that before you invest in any company, you need to find out how long has this company been in operation. How long has this company been in operation? It's like somebody, opening a shop and then saying, okay, all right, you're going to be selling rice for 10,000. Put your money here, and then you're going to get a bag of rice tomorrow. For the first few people, they might produce those bags of rice, and then every other person will say, just put your money here. You're going to get your own bags of rice next week, next month, and they promise. And because people are looking at, oh, wow, this is a great offer, everybody start rushing in. It's a sort of a herd mentality. So before you ever invest in any organization, this was something which the naive, those who became victims of CBEX, never thought about. Is that they didn't find out how long has this company been trading, how long has it been in existence. We all know that, when one of the characteristics of knowing a Ponzi scheme is that, they come in, make some good returns to some people benefit, and then they try to generalize, get a lot of people in by saying, yes, you have people who have already profited, who have already gotten good returns, not knowing that, it's a pyramid Ponzi scheme. So one thing you should always know is that before you invest, in case of next time, always find out how long has this company been in existence. As a rule of thumb, make sure any company that has not been trading for at least 3 years, don't put your money there. If you're going to put your money there, make sure this is money that you can afford to lose. Make sure if you're going to put your money in any company that is less than 3 years in business, make sure it's money which is not going to give you sleepless nights. Okay, those are two things. Then the other thing that the investors miss is that, did they check, did they know who the backers are before you invest in any company? These were the things which the investors, the victims, who lost over 1 trillion naira in CBEX, they didn't find out. Before you invest in an organization, find out who the backers are, who are the directors, who are the promoters of this business. Fact check them out. Check their pedigree. Where have they served before as directors? Don't just look. Another mistake people made was that they were looking at the returns. They were looking at the promises. No, you don't do that for a company without pedigree. You don't look at the returns, what they are offering. Look at the risk. Don't look at what is on the table. That's how they were able to lure many people in. People were looking at what they promise on the table, looking at also those who have gotten something returns back. No, you look also at the risk. And like I said, don't forget how long has this company that is offering outrageous returns on investment, how long have they been trading? Okay, all right, that's number also to be taken. That's also something which investors miss who became victims. Also, as a guide, they do get the annual report, published report of any investment organization is very, very important. So you must make sure, check out the annual report, published report of the past 3 years. Many people who invested, who rushed in there with the hard mentality. I doubt if they asked for the report, check out, the company must have put their report online. Did they have published reports of the past 3 years before you invest? Always. If it's not a known name, make sure you see the 3 years published annual reports before you invest. Forget the returns any company is promising. Check out 3 years annual published report before you put your money in any organization, no matter what they're promising. Also, were they regulated? Did they get registration from the Security and Exchange Commission? That's also something. Any company wanting to offer investment opportunities, always find out whether they are approved, whether they've got clearance from SEC, Security and Exchange Commission. Securities and Exchange Commission, they are there for a reason. Don't be in a hurry to want to make quick bucks. Forget whether it's your neighbor or your brother promising that, look, this is what I've made. Forget all those. When the push comes to shove, you're the one who is going to lose money, as many of the investors of CBEX found out too late. Did this company you are pushing to me, are they cleared by Security and Exchange Commission to do this business? It's always important to fact check that, to ask those questions. So don't look at the report, don't look at the returns that your neighbor, your friend, or that being pushed to you online. Check this thing out. Also, does the CBN approve of this company? Does it have a license to do what they are doing? Investors, many people rushed in, they didn't make these checks, they didn't ask these questions from those who are pushing the company to them, who are pushing CBEX to them to come and make, good returns. They didn't fact check. Was it registered by CBN? Did they get approval from CBN? Security and Exchange Commission, did they get approval? Are they licensed? Did CBEX get these clearances? Those are the things which we should look out for. So there's another Ponzi scheme that SEC is already warning people to be not to do business with. So these were the things that CBEX victims or CBEX investors, these were the questions they didn't ask. These were the things they didn't check out before rushing in. And then all of a sudden, they lost money. Another thing you should find out is before you rush is what rates are being offered. When a company is offering rates than the market rate, and that was a sign that should tell you something is not adding up. Something is not adding up. CBEX was tempting people, was luring people in with outrageous amounts. You should always check out what is the market rate, lending rate, interest rates. Those are the things, if you ever are going to invest in any company apart from known names, find out the rate they are offering. Why does this add up? Is this sustainable? If somebody is saying invest 1,000 naira in a business in 2 years' time or you're going to be getting 100% return, you should know there is a catch somewhere. It's not going to add up. They're just tempting you in. And again, that was what happened to CBEX investors. They were lured in with outrageous rates of returns. Then the door was shut on their investment money. All right. So 2 more things is that always adopt a safety first approach. I've already mentioned that if you're going to be investing money in an organization that is less than 5 years before you invest money, find out, is this money, is this something you can afford to lose? See this money as money. If for any reason you want to decide to invest, I saw there are people crying who lost their savings with CBEX, but they shouldn't have happened if you adopt safety first approach. Can I afford to lose this money without shedding tears? So if for any reason, if I was going to invest in CBEX, if I'd been given that, probably I would have invested just 20,000 naira. No matter what rate they were offering, I wouldn't have invested more than that, because when you look at their rates, and for a company that has no pedigree, that has not been in business for long, I was never going to put more than 20,000 if for any reason I wanted to invest there. So always, when a company is offering a rate which is more than what the banks are offering, which is more than what is the lending interest rates, know that there is a catch. Sooner or later, they're going to disappear. And that was what happened to CBEX. Investors were crying, they closed shop, and many people were expecting huge returns. They never saw those returns. Finally, did you get your banker's advice before you invest in any organization? Remember, if a company just comes to the market offering huge returns, ask questions from your bank. Oh, I've seen this company, they are offering these rates. Just sample your banker's opinion. Should I invest in it? Your banker will probably, your advisor, your personal banker, somebody in your bank will probably be able, even if they do not say yes or no, but you can ask them, please, could you help me check this company? I want to invest 50,000 naira in this company. Please, could you help me check? Your banker will have a word to chip in for you. And if you're not satisfied, just ask another member of staff in the bank that I want to invest. This company is offering this amount. Should I invest in it or not? So it's always important. These were some of the signs which investors missed out on CBEX and cost them their money. Over $1 trillion naira was said to have been lost. I hope next time, please, before you ever put your money to invest in any company, ensure you find out how long they've been in business. Don't forget, as a rule of thumb, 3 years minimum, they must have published annual reports. Also, if the rate is more than the going rate in the market, interest rates, there's a catch. Always ask your banker for advice before you invest in any company that you don't know that has suddenly come to the market with huge offer. Ask for your banker's advice before you put money. And lastly, make sure if you're going to invest, adopt safety first approach. Is the money I can afford to lose? You don't bet the ranch. Don't put something more than 50,000 naira in that investment, no matter the rate they are offering. And always look at the risk. If it's not more than 3 years in business, don't ever put more than 50,000 naira in that business. Any organization that is not up to 3 years that is offering outrageous return. I'm not talking of companies who are offering shares. I'm talking of company like CBEX or any other organization that is an investment organization that is tempting you in. Never put, if for any reason you feel obliged or tempted to invest, make sure you don't put more than 50,000, and that is if at all you ever decide. Forget the returns of people, your neighbors, your friend, your church member, or that uncle. Forget everything they're saying about their returns. Okay, make sure if the rates being offered, rates of returns are more than what CBN rates, that is not for you. All right, folks, thank you. I know many of you missed the masterclass. I hope to see you again tomorrow. And tomorrow, you're going to get enough notice before I come on here again. Until then, take good care of your money.